Hello and welcome to Media Minds, the show that explores how creativity and technology are shaping the world of media and communication. I am your host Owen Apollo from the Kenya Institute of Mass Communication, where future media practitioners are trained. With me, I have two guests with whom we'll be talking about the future of media and communication in the digital age. Perhaps I'll just allow them to introduce themselves, give us a brief background.
Okay. My name is Joseph Kamau, a lecturer in Kenya Institute of Mass Communication, focusing on news writing. Thank you.
My name is Joy Chibole. I'm a content creator, specifically a lifestyle influencer. I've been in the game for 4 years right now, and I really love my work.
That's amazing. So, Mr. Joseph,
Yeah.
I think you'll be best suited to answer my first question. What do you understand by the terms traditional media and digital media?
My understanding of traditional media and digital media, I'll say traditional media is, these are channels of communications or other systems that predate digital media. For example, we have TV, radio, print, newspapers, magazines. But when it comes to digital media, we have mainly focuses on the internet, and maybe suitable examples would say websites, social media. Yeah.
Wow, that's actually interesting. Speaking of digital media, what is the biggest transformation you have noticed in how we produce and consume media today?
I think the greatest transformation that I've seen with digital media is accessibility. Because I think when it comes to accessibility, you only need your phone, and you know with the phone you move with it from one point to another, I'll say. So it's so easy to access information, to access content when it comes to digital media. But in traditional media, I'll say it takes time to prepare content and then feed it to the consumers. That's the greatest transformation that I've seen. And also maybe to add on, I think it's on personalization. And what do I mean by saying personalization? You'll find that, let me give an example with TikTok as a good platform for social media. You'll find that the content that maybe I consume is totally different from whatever Owen consumes. Why am I saying this? Because there's something called the TikTok algorithms. You find that it only feeds me with what I need, not what other people need. Yeah.
Wow, that's actually some amazing insight there. And I believe that with the entry of the digital media, I believe that it has obviously impacted the industry.
Definitely.
I'd just like to understand, in your own view, how has the transformation impacted the industry, like both positively and negatively? How has the impact been?
I think when it comes to digital media, the impact can be felt. Actually, when it comes to time, you see, in traditional media, I would say it takes time. Let me say maybe preparing like a news story. You see, you have to be assigned, the reporters have to be assigned, they need to get the story, and from getting the story, writing it, editing, so it passes through a lot of hands before the audience receives that kind of content. But again, when it comes to digital media, you see, you only need maybe your phone, maybe a picture or something, and then it's just posting, and you see, that's how content is disseminated from one point to another. So it happens quickly and it's faster. So that's one of the positive things about digital media. But again, I think it has its disadvantage when it comes to authenticity of the information that is being disseminated, the kind of content, so like the quality of it, because it's easy to spread falsehood, I'll say, because sometimes you'll find that information is not confirmed, people are not sure about it, but since you already have the space So you will end up posting the content. That's the negative side of digital media, I'll say.
Wow, that's actually an amazing take on an amazing point of view. Perhaps for the next question, I'd just like to engage Joy. What are some of the roles of the big tech platforms, for example, TikTok, X, in like the new digital age, and how are they affecting media?
Thank you for that question. First of all, I'd say platforms like TikTok has really transformed how we create and consume media. First of all, it has made content creation accessible. Anyone with a smartphone from anywhere around the globe can create, edit, and publish content, and the content will reach a huge number of views. The second role that TikTok plays is that it has become a trendsetter in different categories, let's say fashion, music, and lifestyle. You get to post the content, and it also reaches a huge number of engagers. But we can't really ignore the downsides, like privacy concerns. We have misinformation, which comes with this shift.
Wow, and you've mentioned a really interesting word there, misinformation. I'd just like to understand, as a content creator, how do you tackle misinformation?
The first step is always verification. I verify any information before I post it to the public, and when I come across information that is not correct, that has been posted by other influencers, I try and correct it politely with the right information if I have it. And then I try and promote media literacy also. I try and educate people on how to question what they see online. How are they going to see if this information, is it true or is it false? And if it's false, how are they going to tell the person that the information you've posted is false and it's spreading misinformation to the public?
Wow, that's actually an interesting point of view, and I believe that even the audience have learned something about how to tackle misinformation. I would like us to take a short commercial break. We will be right back with more interesting stuff, and we'll also be engaging the audience. So yeah, let's take a short commercial break. We will be right back. Welcome back, guys, to the show. We were talking about the future of media and communication in the digital age, and I'm joined by my two guests who have given us a lot of insight during the first session. And for this second session, I'd just like us to take maybe a different angle, maybe focus on how the traditional media is adapting to these new changes, because we have understood in the past 7-8 years there have been so many changes within the media space, and we'd just like to understand how the traditional media is adapting. So the first question would be to you, Mr. Joseph.
Okay.
Are job opportunities affected by the new digital age?
Oh, thank you for the question. I think on my take, I wouldn't really say that job opportunities are being repressed. Job opportunities are being replaced, or rather people are being repressed by maybe by the digital media, because you realize that in digital media we'll still have a lot of use. Maybe in something like AI, we have integrated AI, maybe in content generation and stuff. And so my point of view is that I don't think there is any replacement that is happening. Of course, you already have AI together with us, but again, we still have men who have to work. So I think the best thing could be that these things have to work together. So man has to learn how to use something like AI in his or her workplace so that he get the best out of it. Because by the end of the day, I believe there is the human feeling that is needed, or something like emotions, when you're conveying your content from one person to another, to your audience. So you see, with something like a robot, I would say a robot doesn't have feelings, I'll say, you see. But the human aspect, the human emotions aspect needs to be there. As much as we are having the digital, media. So man has to learn how to apply the digital media in his workspace, because if not, then I think he won't really be safe. For instance, you see something like AI generated content. If you have to prompt it to analyze something like data, because AI can generate large amounts of data compared to what human beings can do within a short period of time. So you see, it has the capacity to generate a lot of content at once and also analyze data. But again, with the wrong prompts, then I don't think it can give you the best. Maybe developing something like a content calendar, it may take a lot of time for human beings to do that. But again, with an AI tool, it's very, very easy. It's very, very easy to come up with a content calendar for maybe the future events, I'll say. Yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing point of view. I'd like to focus on also something else that you have said repeatedly, not just once. Joy has mentioned it, misinformation, fake news. Do you think that there are government regulation concerning fake news?
Yeah, definitely there is the government regulations. You find that you see, for you to establish maybe certain kinds of content, then you have to stick to the government laws, the breach laws, copyright laws and stuff. You see, in the year 2018, there was an act that was made into law, was amended, the Cybercrime and Computer Misuse. Yeah, Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act, and it clearly states how, or the kind of content that people need to feed on, the means of channeling it, and also is it factual. So I believe there are rules that are already there, already designated to control how people are engaging when it comes to digital media content and stuff. Yeah.
What about on a global scale?
On a global scale, I think there are rules that control digital media and the way content is disseminated to people, the way content is given to people, and what kind of content are you feeding people. Because I've seen that, let's say something like, I'm trying to figure out of a good example, maybe something that is not factual, there are international media bodies that are government associated that control what you're supposed to give your people. Yeah.
Well, it's actually interesting that there are so many measures put into place.
Yeah, there's so many measures put in place.
And something that I'd like to ask Joy about, with relation to what you just told me, with the influx of digital media, and content creation. We've seen a lot of successful content creators out there who are actually making a living out of content creation. So my question is, do you think that content creation, or rather, do you think that the digital age has brought a lot of pressure to content creators?
Yes, there's definitely a lot of pressure in content creation today. Take this for example, creators are required to stay consistent with their posting, which can be stressful sometimes, especially if they're not using the social media tools to schedule their posts for them. And then we have the comparison pressure. They tend to compare themselves to other creators who are successful, which can lower their confidence, and they end up giving even without trying much about it. But I feel like there's a positive side of it. The creators tend to be more creative and resilient when it comes to change, and they can adapt to working in any environment.
Well, that's actually very interesting. I would like to understand something, and I believe you're best suited to help us understand, me and the viewers. How does the future of digital media look like? What do you expect in the near future, and also maybe in the long term?
Okay, we have said that digital media is already there. That's the first thing. And so I think we are supposed to be in a position where we are supposed to adapt to the changes that are coming actually globally, and actually even at an individual level, because the means of channeling information is different. Because you said in the old traditional media, you find that people are relying more on TV, radio, but you find with the younger generation that we have right now, many of them are not into TV, many of them are not into radio, many of them are not reading newspapers. But I think people have to come up with ways to still convey information, Of late I've seen people turning to digital newspapers that you can access them through phone. Nowadays you can still watch news, TV news from YouTube. So I think these are ways that people have integrated to stick onto the game, and that's how the future looks like. So things are going to be better and better, but again, people have to adapt into that system, because if not, you'll be left behind. Yeah.
Also, can we look at it from the perspective of the integration of artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
How will the future look like for digital media as it interacts with artificial intelligence?
I think I'll answer that in terms of speed. In terms of speed, what am I saying about speed? Traditional media, I said earlier, it takes time. Like, it's a cycle of many events before you have the product that you're going to release to your audience. It's a cycle of events. But with integration of something like AI, it makes things even better. It makes things even faster. Content generation calendar. So like, you're able to come up with bulk stuffs, a lot of content within a short period of time, and then it helps you maintaining the consistency with something like AI.
Well, that's actually really amazing, and I'm really loving the way you guys just are giving very interesting points of view, very awesome insights. But for now, we need to take another short break, and we will be right back with more. Like I said, we are going to engage with the audience, maybe see the questions that they have, or maybe the comments that they have to share. But for now, we will be right back. welcome back, guys. Just as we were talking about the future of media and communication in the digital age, and right now I would like to maybe give the audience an opportunity to engage, maybe ask our panelists questions. Yeah, and I don't know who we can start with. Yes, begin by telling us your name, who you are directing the question to, and the question, of course.
Hello, my name is Kelvin. My question I'm directed to Joseph, and my question is, how can students from different departments work together to prepare for the future of media?
Thank you, Kevin, for the good question. So how can students from different departments engage to bring the best out of the future of media? I'll say that I think different departments need to collaborate, and I want to give you maybe like 2 good examples of what I say in terms of collaboration. Maybe let's take an example of a student or a person who is doing journalism, and another person from a different place, maybe doing computer science. He's too good in creating maybe applications. So the student who is doing journalism, I think at one point he still needs a space for sharing his or her content. That means he needs an application. It goes beyond TikTok, X, you see, or maybe even a website. Think of a website. We have people who are creating websites, and websites that are sharing great content, amazing content. So those are 2 different departments that have to work together to give the best. And maybe another thing, another good example, let's say maybe a film student who has good features, good documentaries. I think he needs somebody who is able to market the kind of work that he has. So he needs to work with somebody who is too good in maybe marketing strategy and stuff, you get me. So those are 2 different departments that can work together to give the best, or to come up with the best. Yeah. Welcome.
Perhaps any other member of the audience? Yes.
My name is Dorcas Chepngetich, and my question is directed to Mr. Joseph Kamau. My question is, do you think AI and automation might replace media jobs in future?
Wow, thank you, Dorcas, for the question. I think the greatest fear that we have right now is AI. Is AI and automation going to replace whatever I'm doing right now, or whatever people are engaging in, especially in the media world? Because we have a lot of AI in scripting, news, newspapers, all those stuffs, content generation. And the greatest fear is, am I going to lose my job? I will say definitely no. Why am I saying no? You see, I said earlier that for you maybe to come up with the best content calendar, I think you have to be so creative, and you see creativity lies in the human mind. So you need a human being to prompt that AI tool to give you the best. So what I would say is that it's only the job description that changes, but the human creativity, the human emotions, they don't change. And you remember, for you, for you to convey information, and for you to be impactful to your audience, for you to give your content to your audience, and it has a wider reach, I believe that emotions is part of it. AI tools don't have emotions, so definitely you need a human being somewhere. And to be on a safer side, I'll say that people who are safe are only people who will get to know, to learn on how to use AI in the best way possible to create amazing contents. But to them who maybe won't invest their time in learning how AI works, then they'll definitely lose their jobs.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Wow, that has been a really amazing session. I see there are a lot of other questions, but because of the time, I'd just like us to maybe wrap it up there. I'd also like to thank you for taking your time off your busy schedule, or if it's Joy, her content calendar, because I believe she has one. to come and speak to us, give the viewers some insights on AI and media and digital media. It has been a really great session. As we wrap it up, one thing really stands out is that the digital age is not something to fear but embrace. It is full of opportunities for those who are ready to innovate, collaborate, and communicate. I have been your host, Owen Apollo. Till next time, bye.